hope we don't have double audio. So welcome everyone to my live stream. So like I said, internet here is a little bit wonky, but I really want to try a live stream with you guys to catch up today, mostly to catch up on what's happening on the cryptocurrency news front, and also been doing a lot of research into what's happening in China. The China scene is kind of very much exploding as well with the Western scene. So I really want to do a live catch up with you guys, just kind of just hang out, chill out, and discuss what's happening on the news. So give me a shout out, guys, if you enter the channel. Tell me where you're from. Tell me if my audio is working. Tell me if you can actually see me or if there's any problems. Being in a live stream is always got problems. So let me see. Restore the chat. Let me pop this chat out. You are live, it says. Alright, that's cool. That's always good. Good to see that. Alright. I'm gonna close this window as well. Sounds good, says Damien W. Hey, Box Sinister 3RX SAPPLP audio works. Great. KB Cash, Toronto, Canada. Dude, Toronto's a great place to live, actually. Yeah, it's really nice weather. I mean, North America in general is just a really nice place. Well, Ropes 33 Ludendike. I can't pronounce your name, sorry, guy. Boxmining is the best. I'm from the Netherlands. Dude, I really want to go to the Netherlands sometimes. I heard it's really, really nice down there, too. I mean, why not, right? Nice hoodie. I'm wearing 2 hoodies today. It's cold today, surprisingly. So, you see the weather's really nice back here, but it's cold. It's chilly. It's a little bit chilly. I'm wearing 2. Damien W, your stream with Omar was awesome. Really, that was a really good experience. This meeting of Omar, he's one of the most nice and genuine streamers and YouTubers in this space. Really, really love what he does, and it was a really great stream. I really want to do one more extra, hopefully sometime. It was really great catching up, just getting different perspectives on this whole scene, and I think I'll be a lot more excited recently as well, just seeing how a lot of the scammy stuff has died in crypto. That really was good. You know, a lot of times when you do a lot of research in crypto, you think you know what's going on, and then the founders just quit or some drama happens within the team. That's always really upsetting sometimes. You just feel like, oh, that sucks, and and there's quite a lot of situations like that. We got Pablo says no sound. Oh no. I've got a bit of sound coming through on here. Let me see if I can fix that. And I'm trying to put the chat here today, so as well, yeah, that's where the chat is. So I've been trying to play around with the settings on OBS. Mostly, like, I really want to treat this as just a casual discussion and chat today. Mostly because, well, I have no idea if I can properly stream or not. But if you guys are lagging, just tell me. I'll try to figure out something with the bitrate. Sinister 3RXs, we can hear you. Sounds good, Damien W. Okay, so let's get to the content. So, alright, okay, chat disappears. Let me see if I can fix that. Oh no, that's so weird. What's happening in chat? Okay, let me just copy this. Paste this here. There we go, we got some chat going. How do I position it? Okay, it's how to position it without blocking anything. Alright, I'll try that. I'm not sure if you guys can see it clearly. If you guys can't see it clearly, just tell me, I'll try to figure out something. So, today's been a pretty good day. We actually didn't collapse to oblivion. So a lot of people were very concerned because Bitcoin prices really shut up and brought every other single cryptocurrency with it. Yesterday we saw a lot of coins in the red because, well, it retraced a little bit, and we saw that the retrace was really quick. It was within an hour that the prices just dropped from 5,300 all the way down to 4,900 for Bitcoin prices, and it just seems like a very large sell order. So what it tells me is that the bears, or the people who are setting these sell orders, they're still around. They're not all dead, but what we can see is that because the prices are still above our normal levels, we can see that the bulls have longer and bigger strength than the bears right now. That bear exhaustion is real. That's what we've been talking about in the channel. And what I see right now is that it's very, very clear that people who want to sell have pretty much all sold out by now. Even see that in the conference scene too, where you just talk to people and they know the stuff. They know what's going to go in the long term. They're not short term investors looking for a quick flip. And also the people who are kind of not really there for, you know, being able to, if they have weak hands, those guys are all gone. The conference scene of a lot fewer people, and that's actually a good thing. So that's what I see right now. I see that this retracement is good. The interesting thing is that looking at TradingView was quite interesting as well. TradingView, I always take with a grain of salt. Something about TA for me personally is that TA, you're trying to look for these patterns, but the problem is a lot of the patterns could be printed or manipulated. So that's why I always take TA with a grain of salt. But it's kind of interesting to see that we have this kind of 50-50 split right now. So trending on TI ideas, we have major breakouts happening. Magic Poop Cannon is super bullish, and then we have some more bearish as well. So it's like kind of like a 50-50 split when I saw it this morning, where some people think that Bitcoin's at a bit dangerous bear level. Other people are predicting a strong breakout. Personally, for me, I'm feeling much more bullish than I'm bearish. So just saying that the bearish momentum is dead. So that's my current feeling right now. And I was talking about how yesterday, for me personally, and not financial advice of course, personally for me, I was doing dollar cost averaging. So over the past 6 months, I've already been just allocating a little bit of money and just buying every month. And that kind of just roughs out the kind of the craziness that happens, crazy fluctuations that happens in crypto. And it's all about discipline and control. And for me, I'm shortening that period where I'm accumulating. So I just feel like things are pushing up a little bit more, so I'm just shrinking that plan down to a little shorter time. So tell me what you guys are doing. Are you guys buying in right now? Are you guys excited for this whole craze? Let me see how I can get chat up again. It's like missing chat. Alan Land says the tree trace was pretty small given huge gains the previous 2 days. I definitely agree so. I definitely agree that the bear swipe was just nothing. The bullish momentum seems to be gathering up. And with crypto, I think the most interesting thing about crypto is that you kind of expect, say, if things do go up, they go up in this craze momentum. We saw that with a few of the altcoins, but now that Bitcoin is showing some strength, it's going to be interesting times ahead. And one of my thoughts as well, the bear market's meant to make us smarter, make us more cautious, and it definitely made me think a lot more about a few certain projects. And one thing that I was kind of like initially getting down on is that I thought everyone needs to be like really super smart before a bull market can happen, right? Before we need to clear out all the trash before it's gone, like all the scams need to be wiped out. But that wasn't the case for the last bull run. If you think about it, in the last bull run, BitConnect was a thing. BitConnect was like the biggest, most blatant scam out there. And then there were plenty of other projects that were pretty much dead already and just blatant pump and dumps. So what I kind of feel is like you can't teach everyone to be smart. You just need a few core builders right now that can make a real big difference, making some sort of application that really can change something. Not everyone's gonna work. I think that's gonna be key. And what I'm trying to focus on is to focus on the smart people with the correct teams and the correct funds to make sure that this idea becomes successful. Hit the likes up, everyone. Definitely smash up those likes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know this is a very different time from what I'm streaming usually. Right now I'm in LA. It's really, really beautiful down there. So I'm just staying here for around 2 weeks before I head up to San Francisco for the VeChain conference. It's been a really great, amazing time actually. Just doing something different, having a change of scenery, and just talking to very different people, getting a feel of what's happening in North America, but also trying to keep in touch with what's happening in China as well, which is going to be the second part of this video. Just keeping tabs of what's happening in the Chinese scene, because everything is really picking up pace up there as well. We've heard so many like misconceptions about China, and one thing that you do see, and when you're in Asia, you feel is that there is a need for crypto. The fact is that the banks are all government owned, especially in China, and the currency is heavily regulated. You can't even freely transfer value like the renminbi currency outside of China unless you use something like Bitcoin. So there's actually a huge need and drive for a necessity for Bitcoin over there. China's crypto is making an entrance. I think China's always there. I think and I think there's a lot of misconceptions. Chinese are trying to play with them, play with the markets or doing something shady or something like that. There's always this misconception, either that or China's the greatest. I think it's somewhere in the middle. China actually needs Bitcoin. That's the crazy part. Like they're one of the first countries that I would say, you know what, they need a form of value that's independent from the government. Here in the States, you don't feel it as much. I feel like the banking system everywhere accepts credit cards. The transactions are, and if you want to transact transactions overseas, it's a matter of fees, right? So sure, you might get charged like $25 on both sides for making an international transaction, but at least you can do it. In China, you just can't, right? That's a very big difference. If you're in China, you want to send money overseas, you have to go through the government. You got to seek approval, and that's just ridiculous. With Bitcoin, you don't have to do that. And also with funds here, you feel like they're here. The banks, as shady as they are, Chinese banks, they listen to the government. So technically, you can get money confiscated for no reason. That's crazy. Not to shit on China, but yeah. Rob says, what do you think of Pundi X? I think I like the idea of spending. I've always said this. I like the idea that they're doing spending and doing cards. The phone, I'm not very big on. It's like they're doing this new phone angle that is making everything on blockchain. Like that's like, I'm like, okay, why do you need Uber on blockchain? Like, what's the unique advantage of having a decentralized Uber over current Uber? And if you say like cutting out the middleman, I think it's not good enough, because Uber technically they're not making that big of a profit. They're sinking money trying to get more users. They're throwing that money back in. And how do you compete with those VC dollars if you're just doing a decentralized version? You gotta raise capital, try to fight with Uber, and even fight with Uber and Lyft. And Lyft is going for an IPO this year. They're gonna get a huge injection of money. How do you compete with that, with just that much money in your face and just saying, oh, we're decentralized, we don't want to take any money from users, they can do it for free? But it's not good enough. Everything's subsidized right now on Uber and Lyft space. Chris Weaver says Uber loses 100 million per quarter. Exactly. So that middleman is actually losing money. They're injecting this, subsidizing this whole that whole industry. So a decentralized Uber doesn't work, because unless you can raise more money to lose more than Uber, you can't win the war. All right, okay, let's see what's happening on this stuff. Okay, so we discussed a little bit of what's happening. Let's take a look at some news articles. So I was hinting at China. So China, this is quite interesting. So this got reported to me. Bitcoin is actually trending on the #1 discussions. So it's really picking back up in China in terms of just organic discussions. It's the #1 trend right now on Baidu. Baidu is China's main search engine. It's like the Google of China. Google in China is actually banned, so they have Baidu, and now it's trending. So it's like we're hitting Google trends up again. If you guys are interested in that, that's really interesting just for general public. This is the mass appeal side of Bitcoin, and I definitely think it has to do with the way that the Bitcoin provides a way to transfer and store value that's independent from the government. And this is why the government has been pretty proactively trying to ban Bitcoin. The fact that you can't do a fiat on-ramp anymore. The exchanges you heard about before, you probably heard OKEX, the Huobi exchange. They're really big fiat on-ramps in China, and they were all kind of kicked out, and they had to become international exchanges. Okay, so it seems like our stream's health is healthy. But anyways, going on that topic, the interesting thing is that even if a government tries to ban Bitcoin, you can't really ban these transactions from happening. For a block to be processed, it's only 1 megabyte every 10 minutes. That's a very, very little amount of data that's required to sync the entire network. And then one of the biggest concern is that can China just block Bitcoin using the Great Firewall? But the issue is that you can use VPN or some sort of communication method. If China allows a 1 megabyte of data being transferred in or out of the country, that can allow the whole network to sync. And in the future, if we have satellite communications, we've seen Blockstream with the Blockstream satellite, they can broadcast blocks across the whole world, and the whole network can be in sync. The only caveat to satellite right now is that we can't publish blocks, so we can't add transactions. So it's only kind of like a read only. You can only get an update. But that's kind of interesting. Like in the future, once a satellite network is built, Bitcoin is completely non-censorable. It's really beyond world governments. It's beyond this world even. It can be broadcast, internationally across different planets for all we care. Canada, apparently Bitmain pumped BTC according to Martini. Bitmain is one of the biggest ASIC manufacturers, and they were in a lot of trouble recently. So they were not actually pumping Bitcoin, they were actually pumping Bitcoin Cash. So they were very proactively supporting Bitcoin Cash. They were hoping that it would kind of overtake Bitcoin, mostly because they will have more control over it, because they have kind of hands in the developer. They have the developers of Bitcoin Cash are under Bitmain's and conglomerates control. So if they were to pump Bitcoin, they'll probably pump Bitcoin Cash. Recently, their IPO just flopped, so they had to fire a lot of people. So I don't think like they will be in a mood to pump anything right now. They're kind of like, they need to run their business first. Coin Collector says, I bet money that the Bitcoin network will be on the SpaceX Starlink. I think that's cool. That would definitely be possible. I think just having it not on this planet makes it way more censorship resistant. So yeah, so trending in China, this was actually quite interesting as well on China News. So this is a little bit of FUD for OKX. So Lucky1957 posted and said, you know what, the hot wallets, the USDT hot wallets for OKEX just had 222,000 USDT moved from their wallets. So that's RSR1. That's what it means. So RSR1 is 220,000 USDT, and it was moved away from their wallet. So there's a little bit of suspicion about why funds are being moved out of OKX hot wallets. Have they been hacked? Are they doing something weird? Lucky actually said quite interesting as well, just to pad this. He's like, he's not trying to create FUD. He's just saying, oh yeah, just yesterday I was just kind of like very proactively saying good things about OKX, but today some funds got moved away from the hot wallet. So this is something I'm going to follow. Chinese, they definitely have this whole kind of community looking at what's happening in developments, especially with the Chinese exchanges, trying to make sure that their assets are not stolen. But that's interesting. Another thing that's happening in Hong Kong that's recent as well is that Hong Kong, they're trying to classify crypto mining as being regulated under local trading law, and they're trying to prevent the sale of miners, which is actually very interesting. And this has some implications if Bitmain or other companies try to list on Hong Kong stock exchanges before, just like the previous round. So this seems to be very much targeted more at the fake mining, not Bitcoin mining, but there were some fake mining companies set up to raise money for specific miners, specific hardware, charging millions of dollars for it, only to find out the coin that they're mining is useless. So this is very interesting because they posted out Wang Chinkit, who's kind of like the Trayvon James of Hong Kong. He was like kind of pulling these Bitcoin mining rig scams, and now Hong Kong wants to kind of regulate the sale of crypto miners, and that might also mean proper real Bitcoin mining ASICs or Ethereum mining ASICs. Not a good development overall. I think it's a very heavy-handed approach. There were some scammers that made the space look bad, but it feels weird that they're trying to regulate this. Obviously, Hong Kong, we have a lot of mining friends. Being from Hong Kong, I have a lot of mining friends, but I don't mine in Hong Kong, primarily because the electricity prices are still quite expensive. So there's around 13 to 15 cents US dollars per kilowatt hour. So it's not, there are 2 or 3 cents that some people, ridiculous prices that some people are getting. So I don't think it's going to affect the mining operations that this new law is coming in, but rather I think it's going to affect the sales of miners because a lot of the mining entities like Bitmain, Can, they're all registered in Hong Kong. So let's see how that's going to go. That Bronco says the audio is really bad. Okay. And I found out why. Yep, I'm trying to fix the sound. Trying to fix the sound. Trying to fix it. Yeah, I'm trying to fix it right now. Just booting it up. Alright guys, I'm trying to fix the audio right now, so just give me 1 second here. Alright, does this work? Alright, this should be working much better. So, the audio was terrible because I didn't have my lavalier mic on me. That was a new mistake. I thought I was wearing it, so right now it should be fine, it should be in sync. But sorry for that, guys. This shouldn't boost the mic up because it moves mic to my shirt rather than like on the table there. So it should be way better. Have those cable. This got disconnected just now. So this is my audio thing, and you can notice by the blue tack, this is what's holding the audio unit together. And that got loose just now. That's why the audio cut off, and I was trying to fix it. But I found a solution just now. Cool, guys. Thank you guys so much for pointing that out. Yeah, thank you so much, man. Like, no sound, rip audio. Yeah, Bernard, the Broncos, man. Thank you so much for spotting that. I suddenly realized when you said that audio was really bad. I just looked at myself and I didn't see my lavalier mic on myself. It was just on my table, and I was like, that is why. Got it. Thank you so much, Bob, for Bob George, for your $5 donation, dude. Thank you guys so much for your donations, and thank you guys so much for your help, man. It's like this channel wouldn't be here without you guys. So, really appreciative as well. Just being recently, just exploring the whole crypto space and chatting as a community. It's really been like a really awesome space. I think one of the coolest things about being in crypto and doing YouTube in this space is that you get to kind of follow it on a daily basis. Prior to YouTube, I was kind of following it every month, and you don't really see the action happening. And seeing the action happening and then identifying the key players that are gonna stand out strong in this space, it's been really great. Adam Sawar says, what starter mics do you recommend for iPhone, etc.? So for iPhone, I actually got there's two ones. Both are pretty good. There's a Shure. Let me just bring that up here. Okay, so this is the one that I used to hold. MV88, the one I hold in conferences. So I just shove it into people's faces. But if you want a lavalier mic like this, this is the lav mic. Shure also makes a lav mic as well. Let me just see what that is. Yeah, this is the one that I have. So I have two. I have the Rode one, the Rode Lav Plus, and the Shure one. They're both, I think, very similar. This one I'm using right now is a Sennheiser. So I'll just try three. This one sounds the best out of them all, but they're not beginner. This one, you have to plug into like an interface like this, like here.
these Shure ones, they just connect directly onto your phone and you're good to go. So if you want a beginner mic, the Shure MVL is pretty good. Rode is also pretty good as well. Chris asks, any thoughts on EOS 1st of June? No big thoughts as of yet. They seem to be wanting to make some big announcement. James Mark says, how's Player Alpha going? So next week, I'm going to head over to the VChain conference, going to meet up Patch, and just check out everything. So that's going to be when we're going to all talk about this. Adam says, thanks, Mike. Thank you, man. All right, so I have 21% battery left. So I'm going to kind of summarize today's episode. I did promise to talk a little bit about Lightning as well. So this is kind of interesting. So Lightning Network is a scaling solution for Bitcoin, and I've been, using it. And one of the cool things was that people are just passing around this, around $100 worth of Bitcoin, passing between people using the Lightning Network to show that it works and that it's fast and to get people using it. The interesting thing about this is that the Lightning Network, every time you get past the torch, you're supposed to add a little bit onto it. And because there's a hard limit on how much you can send the Lightning Network, the torch, you can't actually add anything on. So that's why this article is about 10 more passes to go. The Lightning torch is gonna get extinguished maybe after the last 10 passes. But I think it was a really great opportunity to learn how to use Lightning Network, receiving it, sending it. So here are my thoughts. So one thing that's kind of peculiar about the Lightning Network is that in terms of wallets for your phone, there's two types of wallets. So they're called custodial wallets or non-custodial wallets. So custodial wallets are the ones that I started using. So the biggest one was Blue Wallet. So let me just load that up here. Blue. If I can type properly. So this one is Blue Wallet. So Blue Wallet's really easy to use. You just basically click a button, press the add button, add a Lightning wallet there, and you can create a new Lightning wallet, and people can send you Lightning transactions. It's super easy. Doesn't take anything to set up, doesn't require any sort of programming skills whatsoever. It's just click a button and you're done. Just download the app, click the button, and you're done. And when you send from Blue Wallets, it's very, very efficient. Just mostly because of how they set up their servers. It's just everyone's going into one big server pretty much, into a bunch, which means that you have more connections out and it's easy to use. The only downside of a custodial wallet is that you don't actually hold your private keys. So you know what I say on my channel, not your keys, not your crypto. So it's exactly like using a cryptocurrency exchange. Someone else holds your funds for you and they help you, but there's no guarantee that they will be friendly and helpful. So that's the kind of downside of a custodial wallet. It's a great way to enter the system, test it out, and use it. But when you actually want to use it in the long run, you want to have your own Lightning Network run, a Lightning node, and you need to build your own connections, open your own channels. It's a little bit more complicated. For me, I personally spent around 8 hours doing that myself, just because the guides that I had, they were, like I mixed and matched guides from different parts, and then there was a bug in there that I couldn't fix. So that was why it took me like such a long time to set it up. But when you set up your own wallet, that means you have your own custody, you hold your own private keys, you control that server yourself, and that's when it is your keys, it is your crypto. So what I think is with Lightning is that after using it for quite a long while, when it works, especially on my node, I'm just going to show you guys my node right here. It's called Boxmining. This is the one I set up. If you guys want to link to it, if you guys are playing around with Lightning Network and you guys want to link to it, just search it on this IP here, and we can open some channels up. So after using it, I find that it feels still very much in beta. So if you guys have any final thoughts, it feels like right now it's still very much in beta. It works, but it requires that kind of user experience. If you especially want to go for the non-custodial one, it's not perfect yet. You still need to set everything up yourself. But what I'm trying to do is I'll try to use something called the Casa node soon. So it's kind of like an out-of-the-box solution. You buy it, you plug it in, and then you set up that yourself and you own it yourself. Kind of like a ledger for Lightning Network. You basically have one piece of hardware that it makes it much easier and much more efficient to store or keep keys for Ledger, and in this case for the Castle node, to run your Bitcoin node, to run your Lightning node, to have basically everything set up. It's all just like one click out of the box. So that's what I'm looking for in the future. All right, so I think that's it for what I'm gonna start talking about. Let me just check the live chat. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I know this is a very different time for streaming. Thank you guys so much for your donations as well. It's been really great to just kind of catch up, and I'm glad that the live stream works. So in terms of live stream schedule, if you want to catch up, I'll try to do around this time once a week. So next week I'm trying to do this one, and hopefully I get a live stream of Omar as well. So I'll try to tell you guys beforehand, so that way you guys know what's happening. I know I've been pretty much sporadic and random recently, and that's just because the whole timing here is a little bit weird, the time flip. But anyways, it was great to catch up with you guys. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I did a video on April. I think, let me just double check that. April trends, I think that was pretty cool. YouTube. So yeah, so I did April trends. I think that's kind of the big long-term one, is like my prospects and thoughts about what's going to happen next. If you guys have any topic suggestions, I think I want to look into the IEO space, initial exchange offering space, a little bit deeper. Also want to look into Mimblewimble. So this is the privacy tech in general. So there's a lot of talk back in January. There was a lot of noise back in January, but the tech itself is really super solid. So I really want to talk about how that is going to change the privacy space. And what we see right now is not just Beam and Grin that's using Mimblewimble protocol, but rather we can actually see on Litecoin soon maybe, and probably other coins might be adopting it, which is going to be really cool. That's going to make a lot more cryptocurrencies very, very private. And that's really needed for the next huge step of adoption. Because right now when we send crypto, everyone can see what's inside the wallets, but with Mimblewimble, you can't. So I want to do an overview of that. I also want to talk about Thunder Core. So recently, this is one of the big academic scaling solutions that were coming out. So Thunder Core, what they're doing is that they have kind of this mix between a fast chain and a slow chain. Something like using the power of a mining-based, proof-of-work-based blockchain as its core, but accelerate that in a kind of a fast network. So the only difference, like it sounds like Lightning a little bit, but the only difference is that they can use it for smart contracts. So Lightning is only for transactions, but Thunder Core will be available for smart contracts, which was pretty interesting. So those are the kind of key things I've been reading up recently. Make sure you guys smash that like button, and if you guys have any topics you want to talk about, so anything just recently related to tech or anything you want to look into, I definitely want to say that this time is still one of the best times to look into the technology aspect, just beyond the hype, and really kind of like understand what's going on before everything goes apeshit crazy again. Damien W, thank you so much for your donation, man. Thank you so much. And he said, thanks for the great content, dude. Thank you so much for watching, man. It's been great. Crypto Meme says, have you matched up with Mitch Ray? Unfortunately, so I'm in LA right now. I was trying to meet up with as many people as possible. Unfortunately with Mitch, he left LA before I got here. What I want to do, if you guys are in LA, I'm just trying to think about how to do a meetup. We're trying to get Omar, we're trying to get Captain Crypto, we're trying to get all the cool people here and just do a small meetup. Nothing really fancy. That's kind of my style. I just want to just casually discuss and see what's happening. So that will be next week. I haven't officially ironed down any plans yet. Don't know where to go and stuff. So anyways, if anyone wants to help out planning this, that would be super cool. Just contact me on at Boxmining on Telegram. Neutral Observer says thoughts on Bitcoin private. I'll take another look into it. I'm not a big fan of any fork coins. It's just kind of a thing I have. Mostly because when you fork coin, you get an initial huge marketing rush where everyone can just claim their forked coins and then pump it and dump it on the market. Bitcoin private, I just don't see anything it can add in addition. Like it's not like Mimblewimble, which has a few very interesting concepts, like the fact that you don't even have a address. That's really cool, right? And thoughts on nodes, I'll definitely take a look at nodes. So yeah, Bitcoin private, definitely we'll take a look at it. Nodes, we'll take a look at it. Guys, smash up that like button. See you guys in the next stream. See you guys next week.